Liberalism is like living in a big city where they tell you, you're free to do whatever you want, as long as you don't harm others. This ideology values individual freedom. For example, it says you have the right to choose any job, read any book, or hold any opinion, as long as you don't violate others' rights. Liberalism also strongly believes in democracy, meaning people should have the right to vote and choose their government. This ideology wants the government to interfere less in people's lives and let them make their own decisions. Example, in a group game, liberalism says everyone can choose their own way to win, as long as they don't break the rules. Socialism is like being in a classroom where the teacher says, let's all work together so everyone gets good grades. This ideology values social equality and helping the poor. Socialism believes wealth should be distributed fairly so everyone can have a good life. For example, the government should provide free schools, hospitals, and public transportation so even those without money can use these services. Example, in a group of friends, socialism says everyone should share their money so they can all enjoy a big picnic together. Communism is like being on a playground where everything is shared. For example, all the toys belong to all the kids, and no one can say, this is only mine. This ideology wants to create a society with no social classes, where everyone is equal. Communism says the government should control everything, from factories to farmland, to ensure everyone uses resources equally. Example, in a group game, communism says everything should be shared, and no one should have more than others. Fascism is like being on a soccer team where the captain says, we're the best team in the world, and we must always win, even if we have to hurt others. This ideology believes in extreme nationalism and says our country must be stronger than everyone else. Fascism opposes individual freedoms and wants everything controlled by a strong leader. It often involves violence and suppressing opponents. Example, in a group game, fascism says only the captain makes decisions, and everyone else must follow without question. Conservatism is like grandparents saying, the old ways were better, let's keep them. This ideology values traditions and old values and doesn't like rapid changes. Conservatism says if an old law or method has worked, it shouldn't be changed. This ideology is usually against big, sudden changes. Example, in a group game, conservatism says let's use the old rules because they've always worked. Anarchism is like being in a school with no principal or monitors, where the kids manage everything themselves. This ideology says we don't need a government at all, and people can live without rulers. Anarchism believes in voluntary cooperation between people and opposes any hierarchy of power. Example, in a group game, anarchism says everyone should cooperate, and no one should be the leader. Feminism is like saying in a game, everyone can play any role, whether they're a boy or a girl. This ideology wants women and men to have equal rights and fights against gender discrimination. Feminism values equality in work, education, and daily life and says everyone should have the same opportunities. Example, in a group game, feminism says everyone should have the chance to be the leader, not just the boys. Nationalism is like being on a soccer team where all the players say, we're the best team in the world and must always win. This ideology takes great pride in its country and wants it to be stronger and more independent. Nationalism values national identity and interests and is usually against interference from other countries. Example, in a group game, nationalism says our team must always come first, even if we have to push others aside. Environmentalism is like telling everyone, let's take care of the earth like it's our home and not litter. This ideology wants to protect nature and animals and fight against pollution. Environmentalism values sustainable development and the responsible use of natural resources. Example, in a group game, environmentalism says let's take care of the playground and keep it clean. Secularism is like being in a school where they tell the kids, you're free to follow any religion or no religion, but the school won't interfere. This ideology says religion and government should be separate, and the government shouldn't be influenced by religion. Secularism values freedom of religion and non-religion. Example, In a group game, secularism says everyone can choose their own way to play without having to follow others' methods.